Question, is this normal?
You are not kidding, are you?
This is a pretty hardcore origin story.
Holy fuck! That was diabolical!
What up, homies? Yeah, I said it again. You know, I'm not Joe Kane, but I try to do my best impression. Hey, it's me, Mark, it's Asia, and once again, because we botched the first time, we bringing back the illustrious McMahon himself, Mike Charles. What up, Mike Charles?
Woo.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Man, good to
Going
have you
on?
back, man. And thank you, man, for for taking the time in your busy schedule, man, to give us a redo.
Oh man, I always got time for y'all. I always got time for y'all.
Hey, man, we appreciate that, man. So, what you been up to lately, Mike?
Same old, just working, doing some more artwork. Got a couple more projects in the fight. Brooks just got t-shirts made.
I'm sick of Brooks. I can't wait. I want to hear Brooks. Hey, I'm getting me one. I'm getting me one of them t-shirts. Forget Brooks.
Now, how can I get one of the t-shirts though?
Yeah, we want them.
Oh, we even got some hoodies.
Look, I can't wear no hoodies all the time. I just want.
We even got some hoodies.
Oh, that's great. So Brooks, he the king of merchandise. At the end
Oh,
of the
yes,
day,
he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's
God,
like we
yeah.
we even got some tumblers with our artwork coming out.
Oh, I love tumblers. But you gotta tell me where to get them though.
Oh yeah.
How can the audience get them?
Well, right now we're working on that end too. We're getting ready to put up a new site. Once I
Okay.
get all the information, I get it all to y'all. Cause we got some stuff coming down the pipe that's gonna push our next project. It's gonna push the Andy Up project. And we also got some other news coming out. We're getting ready to start consolidating some of our previous books in the graphic novel format. Gonna make it easier for people to get a hold of.
That's real cool.
Got a couple of art books we got under work too.
I like the sound of that.
Okay.
We're doing a lot
Would
of
you like
stuff. We're doing a
to
lot
share
of
a little
stuff.
bit about your upcoming project?
Well, Annie Up, it's been in Annie Up's the biggest project we got coming out. It's
All
it's an in-company anthology for the first volume. We're gonna invite another group in for the second volume to fill in some of the stories we plan on doing also. It's right now I'm putting it at 200 pages, maybe a little bit more. It has four 40-page stories originally in it, along with some additional artwork. We maybe put in some sketch, well not sketch, but some more how do you call it?
Some rough art, maybe.
Like it's art book type stuff.
Right.
Yeah, it's art book type stuff, but it's gonna be related to each story, kind of like the
Oh
production
yeah,
art
yeah. I
books.
get you. I get you. Yeah.
We're gonna have that in there. We also have we're gonna have a memorial in there to Adrian since he
Yeah.
passed away. He was supposed to be part of the project. We're gonna put a memorial in there with some of his artwork, one of his unpublished stories. We're gonna put it in there for him. We're also going to include with the book some extra things. We're working on some special edition we're working on some special edition bookmarks, pencil board, and gaming pads. I already have one gaming pad
We were
out.
talking about that last time, man. How you messed off and sold that gaming pad, and now it's a craze.
Oh yeah, yeah. I got a lot of people asking for them now. So what we're doing, we're actually going to go back. We have some artwork that we never published.
Right, right, right.
You know how you do covers and then you change covers later on.
Yeah, yeah.
But we have a lot of artwork like that. Some from Los Locos, some from The Calling, some from Mike's project, Bullets, Bays, and Broad Straps. Well, what we're going to do, we're going to start doing some limited runs on on those pieces and put them on the gaming pads and on the tumblers. So we didn't want to overlap too much of the artwork, but we wanted to relate it to some of the books that was already out. We wanted to give people stuff that we haven't seen. We don't want to do the projects where some people put out an art book and it's artwork you've already seen. Then they put out another art book. It's also got artwork you've already seen in it, and then like one or two new pieces. But we're trying to do keep fresh artwork out from our company just to let you know that we're still moving forward.
Hey, I'm gonna ask this question to Asia on the piggyback. You know what you're talking about right now, right? Asia, you out here? How important is? I'm just saying, you out here. You know, a roving reporter out here in the streets. You know, how important do you think merchandising is to like putting your brand out there? Just on what you see.
I do think that it's important. One, because if you have like a following and people want to support you, I feel like merchandise is the best way for people to be able to support you. However, I do think sometimes people put merch too early. So if you like just started your company and nobody heard of you, it may not be the best idea to invest in merch. But if you already been out here, like our guest has, like it makes sense for them to already have some merch and to
So do you think
like
it's a sweet spot, Asia, or what do you think?
I do think there's a sweet spot. I'm just not sure what that sweet spot is because I think it
Ah,
depends
so
on
it's the
the.
moving target. Ah,
It is because, like, let's say I don't know if I can think of terms in social media because that's what I'm familiar with. If
right,
you're
right,
on
right.
social media and you have a really good community, like people are always talking to you and they're like looking for the merch, that's kind of when you want to start doing it. You don't want to just start it. You just started day one on TikTok and you got 10 followers. That's not probably the best
So
use
you
of your
saying
time.
that you want the merch out? You want the rolling out of the merch to be organic then?
Yes, for
Ah, okay.
sure. But as far as like
I was
Yeah,
branding
wondering
goes,
about that. So I got Asia here, and I'm gonna pick her brain.
there you go. Well, I can agree with
but
that
I think
because I can agree with that because what I've noticed, like what she says, doing a lot of conventions, I've seen people show up with a lot of stuff and nobody knows them,
Right.
and they
yes,
leave with a lot of stuff.
exactly. I
That's
think
But
the
at least,
only
I shouldn't be laughing. That ain't cool. I'm sorry.
I think the only time it makes sense for you to have like a lot of merch is if like your brand is like making clothes or something like that. Then of course you're gonna
Right.
have like a bunch of merch. But if you're like a comic book artist, and you just starting out, you probably don't want to be making T-shirt stickers and bookmarks and computer screens and all this other stuff. Like you want to kind of get your name out. Maybe even if you want to do a little merch if you're going to a convention, maybe like a shirt and stickers, but you don't want to have like your table is just all merch and your comic book has like one little corner over here. And this is
exactly.
your first con.
Hey, look, I see
Like,
people like that too, so that's why I'm laughing.
cause like what I noticed when we decided to do the merch, it came out after the fact. Like when we first started doing the con,
Yeah.
we've been doing this for a long
Yeah,
time.
right,
So
right, right,
it was just when you hit a combo convention or a pop culture convention, you kind of stayed in your niche. You had like your comic books, and you had your prints.
right, right,
But
right.
as time has evolved and the audience have grown, you start to take notice of what people actually are buying. Like when we did the
Mm-hmm.
gaming pads, I actually thought about doing that because somebody had asked me about it right before the pandemic. And I mulled around with it for a minute. Then the first MegaCon right after the convention, we go back to it and we see a bunch of people that's got merch
Right,
that's gaming pads, but the only catch they were playing to the crowd.
right,
It
right,
was all the current anime stuff.
right.
And as we were watching this, we had people coming up with us looking at our prints and asking, "Y'all don't have this on a gaming pad? This will make a great gaming pad." So me and Brooks and Maurice sat there and thought about it, and like, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and do this. We're gonna take some of the artwork that we got for any of coming up and some stuff for the other books, and we'll put that on the gaming pad. So we're not gonna duplicate the stuff that's on the prints right now.
Right.
We're gonna get some fresh artwork for this and put it out there. So we did, and people gravitated toward it.
Cool.
So as we're looking at that, we're like, all right, let's get some stickers made. We ain't gonna go overboard. We're just gonna do the company logo stickers and probably a couple of the current books.
Right, right, right,
And before that, I had stopped doing business cards
right,
because my whole thing was I'm in the book industry. A business card makes no sense, but a bookmark does.
right, right.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
we
you
went and
talk
started doing,
nice.
yeah. So we went and started doing bookmarks that went with our books so people could get all our social media addresses, ordering forms, and at the same time, they got something they're gonna keep with them because they're gonna use it to mark their books.
Good, good, yeah, yeah.
Like,
Right.
like at first, you know, it's just a little cheap one that you put on the table, the little paper one. Now we're gonna elevate it to a little bit more expensive one. Like we'll still have a little cheap one for the table. That's the free giveaway one.
Mhm.
Then you have when you purchase the book, you'll have one that has exclusive artwork for that book, a little info of the characters on it, and it'll still have our social medias on it so you can get a hold of the next issue. But that was our little gimmick just to see would it catch on for us because the biggest thing that we've noticed as an independent, you know, some people don't like to do it, but you have to have some type of gimmick in order to be seen and remembered in the space that we're in.
Sure, sure.
Because you also got to remember, it's a thousand of us at the convention that's independent.
Right.
And I wish all of us luck. But the only ones that's gonna really push it are those that's willing to push the boundaries to go beyond what everybody else is doing.
Right.
It's like you can follow and do whatever you do. You can follow the Marvel DC plan. You can emulate them all day long, but
That'll
you're
work
gonna end
for
up
us.
lost in the sea with them.
That don't work for us.
Yeah, it's like see what happens. The guys that do it, they get lost into the background noise.
Mhm.
And like we've had people ask us why we put our books on the landscape format. That was me being like, I don't want to be like everybody else.
You know that one look.
I needed to be
That's
seen.
that's that Fantastic Four book from back in
Yeah,
the day. That land, man, that book was bang.
yeah.
And you know what's so
But
funny?
see, you remember it.
Right. Your boy Brian Benjamin, he did the same thing with that short book Pancreatic he put out.
I have every one of those that he got,
Yep.
and that's the whole reason I got it. Because when I saw him doing, I said, wait a minute, he doing it. He doing like what I'm doing.
Yep.
And
See,
like,
I feel like you definitely need to have something that's like interesting that's gonna catch people's eye. There's a sweet spot with everything because yes, you can listen to like your audience and stuff, but you don't have to listen to them for every single
Sure,
thing.
sure, sure,
It's
sure.
like in your
yeah,
case,
yeah.
if you listen to people and you put it in a regular kind of format, it might not have been as memorable as the format that you have your book in now.
Yep, yep. See, that's
Oh
what
yeah,
I just last week, because I always got Asia on the mind. Uh
yeah.
we went to this Zine Fest, right? And
Uh-huh.
I wasn't planning on spending no money. I'm just going, with my right partner, Jeff. Man, I spent so much money at that Zine Fest, it wasn't even funny.
You got to be careful going to Zine Fest.
Man,
You'll
look,
spend the
it was
whole
just so
your
much
rent,
interesting stuff,
car payments.
so many interesting ways to put out these zines and these small comics, man. Just
Yeah.
stuff that never even crossed my mind these guys was doing, man. I was like, wow, look at
Oh,
that.
we got a project that we're working with another young lady. I'm just gonna mention she is an OnlyFans entity. Uh,
We support.
she
Yeah,
actually she actually wrote she actually wrote wanted to do a comic book, didn't know how to write it.
all right,
She came to us after she saw us on TV with the lawsuit deal that we did, the lawsuit comic book we did for Third Planet.
all right, cool.
And when she brought me the stuff and I'm sitting there reading it, I found a way to make hers stand out from the other books.
Good,
It's like I like to do that. It's like one, she liked our format, and I said, well, your book will work on this format, but since the way you wrote the stories, they're almost kind of like a Sunday funny.
right, right,
You know
right.
how you have it's
Almost
like you have like a real condensed story in a
Mm-hmm.
real short amount of time. That's kind of how she wrote it.
right,
So when I went in and edited it, I kept that flow with it.
right.
And instead of giving it like let's say a 10-page chapter,
Mhm.
she's got like 5-page chapters in it.
Sure, 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 sure,
So I was like, we do this like a Sunday and a Wednesday comic type format. Your crowd will love this.
sure.
So
Hey, let me ask you a question.
we started doing that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question. Have you ever met this guy, Randy Zimmerman? You ever met him? He does a ton of cons,
Never met him.
but you
I've
know of
seen
him,
his
right?
name, but I've never met him.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we cool with the guys from Indie Comics Network, Uh
Okay.
yeah, so Nita Landing, and then we cool with them. And so he's a part of Indie Comics Network too, right? And,
Oh, we
he
need
lives
to
here in
talk to him.
Michigan with us. And the thing is with Randy, what they do, they literally put out a newspaper at their con. They got this newspaper, you unfold and whatever, and everybody who's
Yeah.
doing stuff, strip type stuff, they put in the newspaper. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, we need to talk to him then because I got some strip stuff that
He
I did
definitely
some stuff for my mom. My mom was an educator.
uh-huh.
She retired a few years back,
Right,
and she's a literary teacher.
right.
So I used to do this comic strip for her. That was
Uh,
set up like that,
it's cool.
and
Mm,
like her the topic that she was studying that week with her kids,
right.
I would illustrate it in like a Sunday funny or Wednesday comic like format, and she would give it to her kids at the beginning of the week, and that's how they would follow along and learn the lesson.
That's cool, man, right there, man. The
It's like
education, if you don't know, again, it, it, comics definitely are a heck of an education tool.
oh yeah, oh
Mhm.
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, that's what got me where I'm at. My first book was a Luke Cage comic book from my mom,
Cool.
and because my mom's a big comic book person.
Right.
It's like my mom's an artist. She's a comic book person.
You
She
lucky dog.
loves movies, all kind of stuff. So I've been in this forever because basically because of her. And same with my uncles, her brothers are the same way. They they were big into this. Like I have two younger cousins that are artists. Well, they just turned 50 last week.
Right,
I turned, yeah, I can say they're younger because I'll be 52 this year.
right.
But we all, we all have our interests, but we were always told to pursue it and always do something that
Man,
makes you stand out.
you grew up, it's funny because Asia, it seems like you got a lot of support. There's seen a lot of love in your environment too, Asia.
I do. My mom was an artist, and she actually. So, I always wear like this jean jacket with like my decor
Uh-huh.
stuff. She doesn't do decor,
Yeah.
but she has like a really extravagant thing she does with like her jean jackets and like when she's making stuff. And so
Right.
she's a big inspiration. And then all my friends around me are artists of some kind. My bestie is a painter, a graphic designer, a maker of everything. My boyfriend is a musician. I got a lot of friends that are musicians because I used to be in a marching band.
Uh,
Um, but I have a lot of creativity that's been like instilled in me and support. So that's always good.
so both of y'all, I'm gonna ask y'all this question. How
Yeah.
important do you guys think it is to so it's gonna be a two-part question. You had kids, how important do you think it would be to really go in on supporting their artistic endeavors? That's question number one. Question number two is for you guys, how important do you think it was to be in an environment that supported your artistic endeavors?
For me, the first part of the question, you got kids and you're gonna support them. Whatever endeavor they're in, I believe in supporting. If they're artistic, they're gonna need a little bit more support because the way society is set up, they look at it as a waste. But I have people in my family, on my dad, on my father's side, that to this day still didn't like the artwork. They always thought it was a waste. But see, me being the type of person I am, I took that as fuel. It's
True.
like, okay, you don't like it. That means I'm doing something that's good.
Right.
Because it's not harming nobody. It's just bettering me. On my mom's side, they encouraged it. I mean, my grandfather, he caught my cousin trying to trace an airplane one time.
Oh yeah, you told me that story, and it was
Yeah,
trouble.
yeah. And like we got stuck at the table till we could draw the plane.
No.
We would I remember on Friday nights when we were younger, my uncles, well, my uncle Maine specifically, my mom's younger brother, he would take me and his sons. We'll be at his house, and he's the one that introduced us into pastels.
Right.
He showed up one day with all these big pieces of cardboard that he got from some grocery store,
Uh,
and had cut them down to about movie poster size,
uh.
and gave us this big bucket of pastels and told us draw something with that.
I like that.
I mean, that's what he did just to see what we would
Great.
come up with.
All right.
It's like this was I think we were getting ready to go to high school because Do the Right Thing had came
Y'all
out.
got
My cousin
ambushed.
Brian, yeah, my cousin Brian copied the Do the Right Thing poster
Right,
that I did a Predator one.
right,
It's
right,
like
right. That's
it's
good.
like we were always encouraged to follow what we do. So, don't let nobody deter you. Then with my crew, I got on my crew before Brooks, because Brooks is the younger one in the group.
Uh,
I met him when I was going to college.
uh,
With my crew, Adrian was the only other artist, and there was another guy named Dexter before him. Uh, we were all, but my whole crew's in the comic books,
right, right,
and they saw that me and Adrian were drawing. They were really the ones that pushed us, encouraged us a lot. Why don't y'all do your own characters? Because our conversation was, yeah, we love these characters, but where we at?
right.
We
You
got
know
Luke
what's so
Cage,
funny?
we
That's
got
how
Rhodey.
you and I got in the comics the same way. I got in the comics the same way you did.
Yeah, so we this is in high school, and me and Adrian was in the audio video department, and we're doing marketing, advertising design. So we were always drawing,
Right,
and we just kept pushing ourselves.
right, right, right.
Then with the anime, with the first wave of anime that hit us during the late '70s, early '80s, that just tweaked it out more. He said, "Man, we could do this," and we just kept rolling with it. But if you have children that's into this, you need to just stay on them, encourage them. Don't push them to the point where they don't like it.
Right,
Just
right.
encourage them.
Like trying to make
You
them
know,
off the old block.
yeah, yeah. Like my cousin Brian, his daughter is the one that actually wants to draw, and she's the youngest. But I see whenever I see Caitlin, I see her leaning more toward the fine art side,
Sure, sure, sure.
because that's kind of what they sit.
Uh,
They do the acrylics, and they do the acrylics, they do the oil paint, but the subject matter is what bugs people out.
right,
They're car guys,
right.
specifically Euro cars.
Right. Look, we from Detroit, so we know.
Yeah, it's like see, that's what they at. It's like so she's exposed to them doing all that, but at the same time, she's seeing them break down and
Sure,
stretch canvases,
sure.
mix paints, get things priming canvas, stuff like that. She's seeing it from a aspect that most people will never see it.
Sure, 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 sure.
So, we encourage her because every time I see her, I ask her what she can do next. And like she does that to me. She likes whenever she sees me, what you got drawn, Uncle Mike? What you doing?
What you
It's
cooking
like,
over there?
yeah, it's just that if you're lucky enough to have some type of artistic person in the family, not just doing what we doing illustration wise, music wise, uh, if they just like to write poetry and stuff, it's like I believe you need to encourage them to pursue that passion because I've always said that's not so much of a talent, but that's who you actually
Right.
are.
Yeah, that's who you are. Yep. I agree.
It's like to me, drawing is like breathing. I have to do it. I
Right.
can't
Yeah.
go
No,
I can't go
exactly.
long without doing it. And like if
Exactly.
I get to the point where I can't do it, or something's hindering me, I actually get upset.
Yeah.
It's
Or
like I say, nah,
right. Yeah,
I
I
got
get
to do this.
all day. Yeah.
So
So what's your take on the Asian?
So as far as supporting if you have kids, supporting them, I think it's really important. I think you should always support your kids in whatever they do. It's not harming people. Like, if they out here committing crimes, maybe tell them not to do that. But other than
Right.
that, you should always support your kids. I I don't know. Y'all can speak to this too, but like I feel like sometimes in the Black community, sometimes creativity is not always looked at as a job. And so I
Hmm.
know some people
yeah,
you might be not always discouraged from doing the art in general, but not using it as a job opportunity. Like even
Sure,
with
sure, sure.
my mom, although she's super supportive right now. I know when I was younger, she was really trying to push me to make sure I was finding like something that was closer to a traditional career.
Right, right, right.
And it's not because she didn't like art, because she was an artist herself, but it's because one, she was an artist and she knows the struggle of being like an
Right.
artist and what that
You
is.
know the struggle, that's for sure.
Yep. Yep.
And also just because she cared about me and she wanted to make sure that, when I get older, I had something stable, that I wasn't going to be like a suffering artist. But I think that parents need to, one, realize that I think things change from generation to
Sure.
generation. Like, I think there's a lot of things that I have now that my mom didn't have. Like, there's a lot more social media. There's a lot more ways to like reach like my target people.
Right.
And also, in those moments where, an artist may be like struggling, like you as the parent could come in, step in and support your kid. As far as like me getting support, like I said, my mom was an artist. She supported me. I remember when she was, now I'm not like a painter or drawer. I tried
Art
to
is
be, but
art,
I
though.
don't have a skill.
That's the thing.
But when I was younger, I was trying those things, and my
Art is
mom like
art.
Art.
to
Art
do
is
to
art.
do stuff like
Art is
that. Like
art. People don't be knowing that though.
I
Yeah,
remember
art
when
is art.
she was in her art shows. I would like sit under the table and draw pictures and stuff, and try to sell things under the table while she was trying to sell her art.
Literally under the table.
Literally under the table.
And I think that it was just really important for my growth to understand like how much creativity is important in life.
Right.
Um, and I also think that on the back to kind of like the job thing, people don't understand how much art impacts literally everything we do. Like
Sure.
if
Everything.
you're
Yeah.
in marketing, that's seen as a professional job, but you need a lot of art in marketing. You need somebody that's doing the graphic design. You need somebody to storyboard your campaigns. If you're in construction, somebody had to design whatever that
And
you're
build. Yeah.
constructing.
And look,
Even
Yep.
if you're
Yep.
in
cars,
fast
same way.
food, even if you
Yep.
were in fast food, somebody had to make the logo for the fast food place. Somebody had to make the materials to sell the fast food. Somebody got to make sure that the food looked nice.
Right.
And it's
Yep. Yep.
Presented
Yep.
properly. That's art.
mess. So
Yep.
I think that it's very important for people, especially children growing up, to have kind of like someone that's there that supports what they're doing and supporting what they're doing in the ways they want to, because maybe they just want to do art for fun and
Right.
they don't want somebody
Yeah.
telling them to make money off this art for it to be like valuable. Like, no, maybe they just want to draw sometimes on the weekends. Maybe they just want to paint a little picture here. And if they do want to do a job, they need somebody there that's like, okay, you can do that job. There are ways that you can make
Yeah.
this into.
Sure. For sure. Yeah.
So yeah, it's
My
like
second
what?
question was about the environment, in terms of doing art. How important do you guys think that even today, as we older, immersing ourselves in an environment of art, how important y'all think that is?
It's crucial. It's crucial because art is literally a part of everything. Um, and so I think that it's really important to have an environment where art is encouraged in all forms. Like you said, art is art.
Right.
So it don't matter if you painted, if you're drawing, if you're putting two sheets of paper together and making a paper mache, whatever. Like art is art. And art is how, one, it makes our world beautiful. Because I mean, without art, I don't even know what we would be doing.
Yeah, everything will look like dirt and rocks.
Exactly, dirt and
Exactly.
rock. Nobody wants that. Like art is in like the things that we watch and the things that we do. And it's just, I don't know, I think it's just so ingrained in everything that we have. Like, why wouldn't you want to build an environment where art is important, where somebody can artistic expression can be cultivated? I hate how a lot of people look down on art
Till they need it.
as but they literally need it. Like, it's crazy. I hate seeing like those contests online by big brands that are like, "Oh, we doing a contest for for our logo. Turn in your submissions." Like, no,
Yeah.
pay somebody
Right.
a couple $1,000
Well,
that it costs to do the art.
well, the way
I
I
don't.
see it with the way I see it with the community effort, a lot of people in the community don't really understand what goes on with an artist.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's like a lot of them think like I just said before, they think it's just for kicks,
Right.
just something to do, and they don't understand how it's ingrained in everything we do.
Right. How it
Like with
impacts
those
everything.
contests
Yeah.
with those contests that came up, it's the same thing. Like when the Houston Texans showed up in Houston, they did a big deal about they wanted people to do the logo, and I had people ask me, I said, I'm not wasting my time with that because I'm not gonna get I'll probably get a ticket to the first game and a
Right.
T-shirt,
Right.
but they gonna make millions of dollars off my logo. Some
Exactly.
people don't understand that concept. They're like, yeah, I do this, but I don't do this for free.
Right. Right. Right.
It's like
Right.
a lot of people in our community, they think because I'm an artist or you're an artist or you do what you do, even musician wise, you're
Right.
just supposed to give that to the community for free.
Okay.
In a way that's support, but at the same time, it kind of denigrates what we do
Right. Right.
because it shows that one, they don't understand what we're doing and they don't really respect it. It's like for the community, and I hate to say this in our community because we kind of been brainwashed with it. If it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense.
Sense.
It's
Right.
like they really miss what that phrase means, but they take it on the surface. They're like, oh, I don't think you can make
Mhm.
money with that. But at the same time, they're saying that, and here they are lining up to go see the next Star Wars movie, not
Or,
knowing that somebody designed that
or
logo
going to see
or
or
those
going to
ships.
see Scarface in concert.
Yeah, and not understand, and we can use that. It's like me and my crew worked with them in Rap Like way back in the day, doing street advertising with them, doing design work for them.
Right. Right. Right.
People wouldn't know these groups without the design work. Because remember,
Right.
we came up before the internet.
Right.
It's like it wasn't you couldn't pop on social media and show and just show something.
Right.
You didn't have that access. You had to actually make flyers, create logos by hand using Amberlift, acetate, going over getting screens printed, and
Yeah.
then getting stuff out on the street.
Right.
We had to know how to do layout without using Core or without using InDesign. We
Right.
had
Right.
to do all that by hand.
By hand. Right.
Now, I've encountered people that over the years, once they see what we actually have to do, it changes the aspect of
Right.
what we're doing.
Exactly.
They're like, wait a
Right.
minute, I can get behind this now because I just thought you just sitting there playing with some paper. I didn't know the mechanics behind all this.
Right. They know that it had
I did,
there's a method to the madness.
yeah, it's like I didn't know that you really needed to know something other than how to
Yep.
draw a line.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
once the community starts to get behind that and sees that it's more than just some kid with a spray can on a brick wall painting something,
Okay. Even that. We got
it's like,
brother. I got a brother here in Detroit who was
mm,
world famous graffiti artist named Syntax.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Taxes. So what happens? Well, my buddy Victor, he art teacher, so he put together
yeah,
art get together every so often. So it'd be me and a bunch of other homies, man. Getting together, talking about what we're going through as artists and all that stuff, right? So Tax, he was talking about. We got this one friend of ours, Carol. She does uh courthouse rendering, right?
yeah, yeah,
So she's asking Tax. She said, Tax was like, "It's the same thing you do, Carol. It ain't different. It's drawing. It's just you got to know how to scale."
yeah.
He said, I start the same way you start, but I know how to scale it. That's what the real
That's
art,
how you have to do
right?
it.
That's the real skill is knowing how to scale it from this picture to this big old wall, right? And so he
Yeah,
even putting in that same work that you talking about.
yeah. It's like
Right.
I know a couple of guys that actually did the graffiti for the Beach Street movie
Mhm.
back in the day.
Right.
One of them actually works at my day job with me,
Oh, cool, cool.
and we've had that conversation because he had a guy from Australia that he's seen the stuff in New York with the train cars with the
Mhm.
graffiti on it. He literally went out and bought a bunch of little HO scale uh
And
train cars
start
and
painting.
mailed them to my boy.
Uh,
He mailed them to my boy, asked him, "Could you put graffiti on these?" Now, most people think graffiti artists just work with spray cans.
they
My
they
boy
art.
got the Krylon markers. He got the
Mhm.
Krylon markers, the Magunda markers, and
Mhm.
he tightened them little cars up, look just like the ones out of New York.
It's funny because when I
And
went to the
he,
Zine Fest,
mhm,
man, it's this cat was
Mhm.
doing them. He was doing the same thing. Had these HO cars, man. Look,
yep.
I was like, man, you selling these? He said, no. I said, oh, you suck. I was ready to buy, bro, because it's like, man, please
Yeah,
come
it's like that's another thing with us. Like we'll see stuff like that, and the first thing, not kind of us as a community, we'll look down on that, not understanding that dude's got a talent. He just needs a right outlet to get it done.
on.
It's
Mhm.
like it's like coming up. I came up late 80s, early 90s. I graduated 92.
Right.
We didn't have a lot of outlets for the artists then, other than doing some t-shirts. Like our biggest outlet was the denim jackets that
Yeah,
people wanted done in our
and
high
blue
school.
jeans too, graffiti and blue
Yep.
jeans and stuff. Yeah, we
That
did all that. Yeah,
that on in the overalls.
yeah, the
But
deodorant. Yeah,
beyond that, we really didn't have a big uh outlet for it. And then the few of us that was doing it down here, because in Houston, I know up north in Midwest it's a lot bigger. Down here in Houston, it was like it kind of helped those of us that did it because it wasn't many of us doing it.
right, right, right.
It's like I didn't know that many people knew me until after I got out of high school from my artwork. Because remember, we didn't have the internet and stuff.
Right, right.
But me and my cousins were kind of prolific.
Mm,
It's like artwork to us, like I said, is like breathing.
right,
So we
right.
were getting people from and the way we came up in school, we started out private school, then ended up in public school.
Sure, sure, sure.
So our network of people that we knew was huge. And we would do stuff for people we went to middle school, elementary with. They go somewhere because they live in another part of Houston.
Right.
And people see it, they ask, well, who did that? Oh, my friend, he's over here. Next thing I know, I'm doing something for somebody that
It
live
was
all the way out
always
in Clear
word of
Lake.
mouth.
Yeah, and like, so I get into college. I came to some party. I remember going to somebody's birthday party after my first year of college.
Mhm.
And I had one of my jackets on that I did. And this girl walked up to me like, "Ooh, did Mike Charles do that?" I'm like, "I'm Mike Charles. Yes, I did do that."
Ah!
And and the next thing I know, she's hit me up because she wants a jacket done.
Right, 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 right.
And like my cousins, they were in high school
Yeah,
at
Asia,
Klein
that's how we
Forest,
used
which
to
is
get
another
down back
district.
in those
Same
days.
thing. Yeah, like we did all that, and we didn't realize that people really knew who we were just from doing this little stuff.
Everything was word of mouth back then, man,
But we
for
had
sure.
always,
Yeah,
yeah, we had always decided that we were gonna make money on our artwork some kind of way.
sure,
We didn't
sure.
have to get rich off of it,
That
but
you
we are
had to,
gonna make some money
you
off
had to
of it.
make you, yeah, exactly, exactly. Hey, Mike, so let me ask you this, man. Right. Switching gears a
Yeah.
little bit. Oh, I want to ask you last time I get a chance to ask you this, man.
Okay.
You started so as a mech art, as a person who does a lot of primary mech stuff, you talked about using,
Hmm.
understanding how design works, like looking at automobiles and looking at other things that's been designed and how you can use that, military vehicles, and how you can use that to enhance your understanding of building other mechanical things. Could you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah. Actually, I'm doing a piece right now. I'm building on. Uh, Once you understand how a thing should be put together, you could break it down and recreate it the way you want. It's kind of like you have to know the rules to break the rules.
Right, right,
When it
right.
comes to
Talk about
mechanical
that.
design, there's certain things that have to exist. Like you got to have structural components. You got to have what the engine parts are. You got to have what the generators are. You got to have what the fuel tanks are. Once you can imagine how that is put together in a real world vehicle, you could turn around and break it down and put it into a fantasy style vehicle. Now, the only thing then you decide on what do you want these components to be. Like when I design my mechs, the core of my mechs are the main generator, the main computer housing, main generators right there in the core somewhere. I have to decide on where I'm gonna put in the core, but it also helps dictate the design language of what you're gonna build. It's like once you get that together and you start seeing how things will work together, like with the robotic stuff, how robotics are put together. If you want to do them like on a humanoid, if you want to do them like a canine type design, something like that, you have to understand how the mechanics of the body and the mechanics of the machines work. It's really not as complicated as it sounds. It's it just takes a little bit of it takes a little bit of time analyzing it. You look at it, you see where it's going, and you have a vision on what you're trying to do.
Right. It's funny because like
Like,
I look at your work, right? So I look at your
uh-huh,
work, I look at Mike Majestic's work, and I look at Chuck Walton's work, right?
yeah,
Funny,
I
you
like
and
Chuck's work.
Chuck are you and Chuck are really form equals function guys,
Yeah,
right? But
yeah.
Mike is more of an aesthetic guy. Like you could see the form, but it's more about the aesthetic with Mike stuff. But you kind of like in the sweet spot because you got a great aesthetics, but you also can see again like Chuck how that make work. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So
Well,
so
it's like that goes back to something I said before with me. If I can't see it functioning in my head, I can't build it. Like the
Mhm.
little new series of mix I'm doing now, the ones I call my characters, the ones I've been posting up lately, the three that's on the bookmark design. Those are actually custom mix in the story,
sure.
but they all follow the same function and form of what all the other mix do. Like
Right.
in this particular deal, my biggest thing with these, I didn't want to do the cliche stuff.
Right.
When I say cliche, I'm talking about like the Gundam mech with the backpack with the thruster pack on it.
Right.
Because when you look at most super robots or most military robots in any anime,
Mm-hmm.
they follow that format.
Sure.
They stand up as a normal human size. They have the backpack with the thrusters on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I decided I didn't want that,
Right.
and I didn't want to put the pilot inside the so much inside the torso of it, and I wanted to make them smaller.
Right.
So I put these guys on the back like on sports bikes. So they've eliminated the backpack right there.
Right. Yeah.
Their
You know
main
So,
who
product,
you know who
their
does
main
something like that, but not exactly like that? Who had that?
who
I think that you probably taken it way further than they have. But Ride Back. You ever seen
uh
Ride Back?
yeah, I seen Ride Back.
Ride
Yeah, I
Back,
seen
yeah,
Ride
that
Back. I
was
actually like those
interesting, man.
designs.
That was real interesting.
Because that the reason that I watched that because of the designs were so different.
Right, yeah, it
It's
was
like
super different. Yeah.
like what I did with these guys thrusters packs, they're actually in their quad area on their
Oh,
legs.
cool.
So, and I was also going like, we talk about aesthetics. I was also going about when I was building these, how did I want to see them move?
Right.
mm.
Now in space, I don't like the whole prone like Superman flight with the mech
Yeah,
suits.
you
I've
don't
never
need
liked
it's
that.
three-dimensional.
Exactly. So I wanted to give it some, give it make it look like they can move in a different way. And
Right.
then when they're in the atmosphere, and let's say they're on the ground, instead of them have look like they're I want to kind of make them look like they were skating,
Oh, that's cool.
but at the
Yeah,
same
that's
time
dope.
they could
That's
jump.
real dope. Right Back
It's
pulled that
like
off
I
good too, though.
yeah.
Right.
It's like when I was looking at it, I was like, you know what? Had these guys skirt around real quick, they do like little bursts instead of running. Like, they got the legs and something they can move like that.
GPX did
But
that too,
quick
didn't it,
bursts,
Mike? Didn't
yeah.
GPX do that?
GPX did it.
Oh, okay,
They
yeah.
did it, made them look like speed skaters.
Oh,
They
yeah.
they made them look like speed skaters.
Uh,
Um, I've seen it in one other Gundam did it in one anime. They do it in Stardust Memories with the Dunn Torpins
oh,
because they
yeah,
had the hovercraft. They had the hovercraft feats,
right.
and you would see them. They look like they were skating. Well, I took it and I took all that and put into their thigh area.
Right, cool.
So all the heavy thrusters are there, and that when I did that, that gave me room to play with how the weapon systems were gonna be mounted.
Sure.
Because like instead of
But
having just a standard hard point, they have variable hard points that actually
Right,
can move and
right. That's
accommodate
cool.
extra
That's
gear.
cool. That's real cool. Asia,
so
you
you
ever had
talked
a question?
about
Oh,
you talked about how important like it is to know the mechanics in order to make mecha. I've asked you this before, so I'm gonna ask it a little bit differently since the audience wasn't here for the other question. But what's your least favorite mecha build you've seen, and what would you do to make it better?
It's just
Aside from the one that you
my
just said, aside from the backpack.
that's well, that's just it. It's like that's the generic. It's the generic fallback. That's the one
Mm-hmm.
that's my least favorite build.
right.
And you see a lot of that in a lot of mech shows. Even a lot of guys that do draw mechs.
Mhm.
It's a generic fallback because Gundam's the grandfather to all this stuff.
Right.
The genetic DNA goes all the way back to Gundam. It goes back to Macross. It goes back to Giant Robo before Gundam.
Sure.
The whole thing is if you create a giant robot in the basic thinking, If you create a giant robot, the pilot just sits in the head,
Right.
the chest.
Or
It has
right.
a big backpack with thrusters on it,
Right.
and it moves like a regular human.
Mm-hmm.
With me, I'm like, why are we limiting ourselves with that design? I mean, they're great designs, but why are we limiting ourselves?
Sure,
As
sure.
creators, you should always be pushing for the next level.
Right.
You should never just settle on what's already there. Like this new Gundam that's out, G-Quad.
Yeah.
The
Hey man,
reason I like
it looked
that,
good, man. I was watching it yesterday.
I saw it on the IMAX.
Yeah, you tell
I
me you
saw it
saw
on
it
the
on
IMAX
IMAX. I finally caught it on caught
on
it
Prime.
on Prime, yeah.
Yeah, I watched it again last night. It's like what I like about that series is that they allowed them to go ahead and somewhat break the mold on the Gundam. It's
Mm.
not completely broken that it's totally alien for the regular Gundam fans. But I'm a Gundam fan from day one.
Right, exactly.
But I actually liked it. I actually liked them moving away from some of the base stuff because they did it with the Zaku's. They put the primary thrusters in the quad area.
Right, right, right.
When I saw that, when I first saw the preliminary design, I said, "Oh, I'm gonna have to watch this because they doing kind of what I'm doing."
Heck yeah.
Now they still got them. I still think they still a little too big, but
Look,
for the Gundam
it's
universe, I'll let that
right.
go.
It's ironic that the company known for Evangelion put out the new Gundam show.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, it's history behind that though.
Right.
He had always wanted to do a Gundam.
Oh yeah,
The guy
okay.
that created it, the guy that created it always wanted him to do one,
Yeah, I
but
know
they
crazy. Yeah,
schedules
I
never
know
lined
crazy.
up. Yeah, they schedules never lined up until after Gynax and them collapsed, and he was
Right.
able to do it.
The Star Studio Kid,
Uh,
yeah.
it's like yeah, when he started the studio, and like because when I first saw the preliminary designs, first thing I said, because I didn't know he was drawing them at first, I say, "Hey man, them look kind of like Evas, a lot smaller and more mechanical, but they look like Evas." So
uh Look,
I started
Evangelion is
watching
my
that.
favorite mech show, man. So I'm just telling you now.
Hey, and like I started looking at that like, okay, let's see what they're cooking with on this one.
Right, right, right.
And then when I started seeing more of the designs come out, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
no
have to
doubt,
watch
no
that.
doubt.
But then like,
I like the
but
design
then
a lot.
like, it's some stuff in the it's some stuff in there in Gundam Quaps that you have to be an actual Studio Kara fan to know.
To see the Easter eggs.
Yeah, like the flight suit from the guy flying the G Quaps.
Uh,
That's from a anime that never actually came out. It was in an actual Japanese. It was a Japanese animation festival that they did like I want to say like 8 9 years ago.
yeah.
It's called Iconic Fields.
Yeah, yeah.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, and
It's
what's calling them was in there too. They did it 2 years before that, I think. I know when them did that festival
yeah.
years
If you
before.
look
Yeah,
at if you look at his flight suit, it's the same flight suit that is used by the main antagonist in Iconic Fields.
oh, okay. All right, that's cool. That's
It's
cool.
the same everything, the helmet, the designs, everything's identical to it. When I saw that in the movie, I was like, wow, that's Iconic Fields.
Oh,
And
god
I didn't know this dude
dang.
could I didn't know I said it loud enough that this other dude heard me say, man, what's Iconic Fields? I said, so I had to let him know. It's
uh,
like, hey, you gotta look at this because it's no dialogue with it other than like the subtitles in it.
right, right, right.
And it's just a little, I think it's like 9 to 10 minutes long.
Mm.
But it's just the design work. Once you see the design language of that, you see that he was just waiting to do G-Quads.
Right, 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 right.
Because, I mean, a lot of the language from it is in there.
Right.
It's like you saw what he did with the Eva movies, with the last set of movies, Thrice Upon a Time and stuff.
Ain't
You
no doubt.
saw how they pushed the designs there.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
he was going to town for sure.
oh yeah, and see what he's doing with this one is continuing where he stopped on
Right,
that.
yeah, right. So again,
And
he's
as
learning,
a
he's
as
having
a
fun again.
but and like as a designer, especially a mech designer,
Mhm.
that is the key to your design right there.
Right.
You must have fun with everything you do. Now,
Uh,
I have a language in my books that I'm building.
Mhm.
I have different factions that show up, but there's one thing that's the same in the faction with all the mech designs. They carry over also for one faction, they're a little different.
Right.
Uh the leg mounted thrusters are basically my linchpin in all the designs.
Sure.
And as you get into the universe, you start seeing why.
Right, it makes
Because when
sense.
the carapace was when the carapace was first designed, because the carapace in these universes, like this universe is my Star Wars. It's
Right,
an old universe.
right,
It's all this is happening before the rise of man on Earth.
right.
So
Right. So
what's going
it's a pre-civilization thing. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and like see these carapace designs actually come from a race that kind of stepped back
Mm,
from the forefront of galactic politics and
right,
galactic leadership.
right,
But this is something they left behind.
right.
Like the design of the carapace at this time in the story is over a millennia old.
Oh, that's nuts. Yeah.
So, now they've been improved and stuff from the very first one, but they kept a lot of stuff that they kept some of the language from the first one with the oversized quads, the hunchback look, the design. Because I deliberately not make them look like fully. I didn't want to make them look fully humanoid,
Right.
and some of that is for design language reasons
Sure.
because I wanted to make them look like they're always in motion.
Good.
Like one of my favorite designs of any mech anywhere is out of Macross, and it's the Gerwalk mode
Oh
of
yeah, the
any
guard mode
Valkyrie.
kick. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, exactly.
Because to me, that one it's like a happy medium between everything, but it allows it to use all its weapon systems, but it also gives it unparalleled maneuverability.
Right.
It can hop around, it can hide behind stuff, it can dart here, dart there, it can move backwards, forwards, whatever it needs to do. To me, that has always been like the best design ever
Right.
for any type of variable mech or any mech in general.
Right.
So when
It
I
can use
started
all three
designing mine,
dimensions and stuff too. Yeah. Right.
yeah, like so when I started designing mine, I kind of stuck in that area, but I said, well, I kind of want to make it look like more like a robot.
Mm,
And over the years, over the decades, you find your happy medium. Like
right.
the design I'm using now, the carapace design, they started out as a unit I called Armor Marines
Right.
back in high school. And a lot of their inspiration came from Mega Zone 2,
Right.
3,
Yeah.
the
Mega
Garlands and the
23.
Hargans.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like when I first saw that, that was the first anime that had the smaller mechs
Right.
that wasn't, 3 stories tall.
Right.
And that was just like the light bulb for me. Like,
It was
oh,
Maddox.
if he can do that,
It was Maddox 01 for me.
see that's what that's the quintessential power armor to me.
Yeah, it was
That
Maddox
that
01 for me,
it's
man.
like because see those that design carries over into Bubblegum Crisis because technically
Mhm.
a lot of people don't know this. Maddox is part of Bubblegum Crisis.
Oh, I know that. Oh, I know that at all.
Yeah, that's why when you see the K suits in it, the
Uh-huh.
K-12 suits that the 80 Vision, the 80 police use,
Right.
those are Maddox suits.
Oh, really? I know that.
Yeah. And
Wow.
like the very last one you see is Mackey's personal suit in Scoop Chase, the last episode.
Uh-huh.
It's a direct descendant of the Maddox suit.
Maddox suit. See, that's the thing, AJ. This is the thing, right? At the end of the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of this stuff has lineage. It's funny that you're gonna see it, right? Because me, Mike Charles, Chuck Walton, and Mike Majestic, and we come from different design places. But you're gonna see if you look at our mech work, you're gonna see a lot of core
See the
similarities.
influence.
Mm.
Yeah, because like a lot of people don't realize this. In the 80s, the most prevalent design studio for mech-based anime was ArtMech.
Yeah, Art Mech was killing.
They covered Macross, they
Mm-hmm.
covered Bubblegum Crisis, they covered Megazone, they covered Gall Force.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that had a mech in it that was not Gundam, they had their hands in it. One of their designers was in it. Mospedia, Aramaki,
Oh, yeah. Orgus.
he's yep, all of them. It's
Yeah.
like Aramaki is considered
The Godfather.
the godfather of the mechanical motorcycle, the transformable motorcycle. He
Right.
designed the Cyclones from Robotech, or the Mospedia units from Mospedia.
Right.
He designed the Garlands, the Hargans. He designed it's
Wait, didn't
one
he also
animated.
do? Wasn't he? Didn't he also do a lot of the original stuff for Transformers?
Yeah, he did. He did a lot of
Yeah,
that.
I
He did
figured
a lot
so.
of
Yeah.
that. He had another little short-lived anime that came out called Viper's Creed.
I've seen that before. Yeah.
He designed those. The what they call them the maneuver blade. He
Right.
designed those and those. Uh, he recently relaunched his designs for Mospedia because I've been buying them.
I've got to check them out because I ain't seen. I tell you what. Look, Macross Frontier. I was all
Oh
in.
yeah, oh
Macross
yeah, oh yeah,
Frontier.
oh yeah.
Man.
That to me right now, that's the best Macross they've done. Like Delta got some nice
Yeah,
stuff
but
in
I
there with
can't,
design
man.
wise.
I don't know, man. It's the characters in Delta, man. I'm trying to
That's what I'm
get
about to
into it, but I
say.
can't
It's
do it,
like
man.
Delta's designs for their fighters are great,
Oh, all right.
but the characters didn't have enough weight for me.
Right. So what I tell agents them all the time is this: when it comes to writing stuff, right? You got to make me like that character and want to follow him, hate that character and want to watch him burn, or what they
Yep.
doing is interesting.
Because like this is like when we talk about creating a character, it's kind of almost like creating a mech.
But
My characters now, all my characters in this particular universe I'm doing now, not the calling. The calling, those they have aspects of people I know, but these characters are actually based closer to the people that I know
so it
and
makes
some
you a
people
better
that I've
writer
encountered in my
because you
life.
know.
Yeah, it's like the core group, the way that they're built on personalities that are close to me.
Sure.
Now, I have two antagonists that are in the book. Now, I don't have no truly evil people. Like me and Brooks will tell you this all the time. We make no heroes, we make no villains,
Yeah,
we
I don't
make
think there's
people.
no such thing.
Exactly. We make people.
Right.
So one of the antagonists in the book is actually based on a guy that I grew up with. Uh but he had a rival with me that only he knew about.
So it was a one-sided rivalry, huh?
Yeah,
Oh,
like
those
I
are the
always
worst.
wondered.
Like,
Yeah,
what
I always wondered what the
rivalry?
dude's issue was.
Hey,
Like
Asia, by the time
we
Asia
cool now.
graduate, look, Asia graduated from school and then found out the girl couldn't like her. She thought the girl was cool for all of years. Nah.
See, like me, I didn't know. It was kind of like the opposite with me. I
Right,
always knew the dude had an issue with me, but I didn't know what the issue was.
right. And you was too
Well,
busy to give a damn.
exactly. And like, I
Working on
kind of like
yourself.
dismissed him, stuff like that. And like years afterwards, I run into him. And we just sitting there talking, and he brings it up. I'm like, what was your problem with me? And he's like, to be honest with you, I just don't know.
You could
But
draw stuff and I couldn't.
yeah, it could have been that
Ridiculous.
because I did have somebody,
You was making all those
like
sweet
that.
jackets and I couldn't.
Hey, I did have somebody like that though in college. They
All you
didn't
gotta
like
do
me
is go
because of that.
learn, go practice.
Well, you got some people they focus on that kind of stuff
Right,
because they don't know what their drive is. They see
right,
they it's not that they hate you. It's more on the jealous side.
right.
It's like not even jealous, it's more like an
I
envious
always
thing.
tell people
It's
that's a
like
problem for your
they see
parents or your therapist.
Right, yeah, right.
That's not a
well
me. That's not a
it
me
is
problem. That's a
it is
problem for the
it
That's a,
therapist.
is
that's a therapy problem.
but but like it is, but when you're part of Generation X, like me and Mark are, it's a little different because like we didn't have the social media outlets that we have now.
Right.
So
Mhm.
these people were like trapped with you
Right,
every
yeah,
day.
right. It's like being in
They
puberty
had
with them.
yeah, they had no way of seeing anything
And
other
no
than what you were
outlet, right?
doing. Yeah. So if you're around a person and they're drawing and you got all these people walking up to them and hey, how you doing? Can you do this? Oh, I like that. Like, and no, they're getting no attention from anybody, but they're right there with you.
Hate that guy.
They just gonna hate you, but because they have nowhere to go and they have no other outlet, it's just gonna kind of seethe in them. Like they either gonna react by eventually either just cussing you out, or they gonna act,
They're gonna act
or they
out in
gonna
every way.
acquiesce.
Asia,
Yeah, or
you'd have
they gonna
caught the flux in our
Therapist.
day. You'd have caught the flux.
yeah. It's
Because
like
when they
see
see
back.
you go creative and you don't care what they think, oh boy, you'd have caught the flux.
Cause like and
I
like
mean, it's
when
just
you
people like that, especially now that like social media is bigger. It's just that
Right.
instead of somebody being mad at you in person, they make fake pages on social media 10 times and say the same
Well,
thing
yeah,
over and over
you,
again. That
yeah,
happens to me
it's
all the
like
time. I know somebody that I'll block and they'll come back pretending to be somebody else, but saying the exact same thing that other person said, and they'll keep doing it until they run out of email addresses to make accounts.
That's horrible.
now see, like I said, like with us, you didn't have that. You had to eventually address it.
Right.
It's
You like,
like with
dang
this
man,
dude,
why you cutting your eyes at me
he
all the time, dog?
because I messed his head up. I said, man, I ain't never really paid attention to that, but you do have a character in my comic book. He go, what? You actually? And it's like he was happy. Well, I told him that. I say, yeah, you got a character in the book because I know
No.
you. I understood you, and I kind of build stuff on people that I've been
Oh
around.
no.
And he go, all he want to know, am I hero or villain? I say, it's neither one because I don't do hero or
No.
villain. I
Hey
do
Mike.
situations.
Hey, look, Agent Mike political out here.
I love it. I'm
Mike
here
Uh,
for it.
Mike
well,
Charles for president.
well, like I said, it's like you said, it's like I don't believe in heroes and villains.
Right,
I
right,
believe in situations dictating what you do.
right. Yeah, what it is, the
And like
situation.
when you
Agent, we
read,
talked about that before though, right?
and like when you read from the shadows,
Mhm.
Right. No, go ahead, Mike. I'm
like when you
sorry.
read from the shadows, it's a different. When you read from the shadows, it's a different read than you get from the calling.
Right, right,
The
right.
calling is
Yeah.
all about secret societies and certain orders, stuff that has to be, stuff that's been put down and you have to follow, although you don't know that you have to
Masons,
follow it.
I see the Masons gonna get you, Mike.
Hey, I got a bunch of them in the family.
The Masons
My
gonna get
grandfather,
you,
my
bro.
You
my
better be careful.
grandfather
They
was
might be
one.
listening.
My great grandfather was one. I got a number of cousins as
You
Masons.
know they go. You tell the secrets, Mike. They gonna get you.
Nah, I'm skirting it. I'm skirting it.
Oh, that's enough. That's enough.
But like with from the shadows, the feel of the book. What I'm trying to do with it, I put in like all my favorite movie genres
Oh, oh,
and all my favorite
Mm-hmm.
anime and my favorite comic book. Because all this stuff influences people.
sure,
My
sure.
biggest pet peeve in this world is that you ain't supposed to like comic books and anime. You ain't supposed to
Yeah,
like certain
yeah. That
movies
be
and
killing me
anime.
too,
That's
man.
my biggest pet peeve
Right,
because like when it came to us, it was just entertainment,
right,
and it all influences what you do.
right.
Like when this story opens up, you get a slight Indiana Jones vibe
Sure, sure.
because what's actually going on behind the conflicts.
Right.
Like the main group, they're known as the ghost of our city,
All
and it's a
right.
story behind it. It like the story unfolds as it goes on.
Right,
Like
right,
the third member of the group, she doesn't understand why they're called it yet, but she's gonna find out.
right, right, right,
And when you first see them, it looks like a standard military operation that's going on.
right,
But as you read the dialogue and stuff like that, you'll find out that it's not.
right.
And
Mm-hmm.
it progresses from that to almost being like kind of like my favorite Indiana Jones movie is Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Right.
So it kind of progresses into that kind of narrative for the first few chapters. And then you start getting into some of the other stuff that, you can see the stuff I like as I go, because I don't try to
Right,
hide
right,
it.
right. So they
I got,
looking. So it starts. So it's basically they on the quest. They on the search for artifacts and stuff in there, then, right?
well, they're one step behind already. Because the short story,
Ah, okay,
the
that's
one,
always a good place to
the
start.
short, the
He
short
got
story the short story I'm putting in Annie up,
Uh,
it's actually the starting point
right,
to part of the quest that's going on.
right, right, right,
And they know that they're one step behind.
right,
But although they're one step behind, they're one step closer than the group that
right,
they're
right,
running
right,
against to get
right,
to the next level.
right,
And then they have some information that group doesn't have, but they don't
right,
realize that yet.
right.
So it's set up in a way to keep you interested, not just for the action,
Mm.
but also the next question: what's going to
Sure,
happen
sure,
next?
sure, 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 sure.
Because, like, to me, a lot of things, a lot of reasons, I won't say they fail, but what a lot of reasons, a lot of indie books lose their audience is they do a surface plot.
Yep, there
Mhm.
you go.
They
I
they just want
concur.
to do, I'm just going to do this action story, I'm gonna have you chase this guy down. At the end of the story, you're gonna meet him. You're gonna catch him. Okay, where you go from there? You done
Right.
caught your main antagonist.
And they beats are the
See
same
me,
as what their favorite stuff is, and they don't really think about how they can put themselves in them beats so it's not the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
exactly. I'm like,
I think you
I've
talked about
read
this.
so much stuff. It's like
Sorry, I
I've
was
read
saying I
so
think
much
you might
stuff.
have
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Like I've read so much stuff from various people. Like I read manga.
Mhm.
I've had people tell, "Oh, manga's for small for 16-year-olds." No, it's not.
Well, not
If
even
you read the
something.
situations in the manga, they're
right,
not for 16-year-olds. Y'all are
They
reading
definitely
surface
not.
plot.
right. You
Like
think right,
you just seeing the surface. Like this is the problem with the
I mean, not
Western
even for
with
18-year-olds.
right,
well
right.
this is the problem with the Western world. Like right now
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing it with the Tron trailer. It's like I'm looking forward to the new Tron movie because
Right.
I'm a Tron fan from the
Way
80s
back.
Tron.
Yeah, right. From the beginning. Yeah.
And I rewatched Tron Legacy last night.
And it wasn't a bad movie. People get mad. I'm
Oh, I
like, that
like it.
wasn't a bad movie. The
I
movie's good.
I like it. And like I looked at the pace. Well, I was looking at last night because I'm working on some stuff in my book. Outside the designs, because I have the art books for it.
Right,
Outside the designs, I wanted to look at the pacing of how they did the movie.
right,
And not only am I watching the pacing, I'm also watching them plot out the next couple of movies in that one movie. There were things that people missed, like people crying about the way Ares looks right now. Well, why he doesn't look like this? If you paid attention to some of the opening dialogue when Flynn is on the grid, when he creates Clue and he's
right,
talking to his son about it, he says right there, he brought Tron over from the other grid, the
right,
previous grid, to create a new grid.
right.
From what I understand, there's 4 grids, but a lot of people miss that. But that's why I rewatch movies like that. I'm sitting there watching it, but they building their universe out right here. Even if it doesn't go past this movie, and they do, if it stops here, that story is closed out.
Right. But
But
to
if
the
you
way,
watch the stuff, a lot of things that you probably thought in the movie the first time you watched it didn't happen. Like you don't really know if Flynn is dead. You don't know if Zeus them that betrayed Flynn died, and you saw Tron get rebooted, but after the event happens at the end of the movie where he basically reintegrates with Clue,
right.
everything just goes back to a base state.
Sure.
So you don't know what happened. But according to the synopsis for Ares, that's a different grid. That's Dillinger's grid.
Right.
That has nothing to do with the original grid.
Right.
But you got to
Zero
remember,
zero
they're gonna
one
have some
grid.
of the
Yeah.
same design. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna have some of the same design language because they're coming from the same core system.
But again,
So
right. So ultimately, I mean, it was my thing, just storytelling, period.
yeah,
I think people get caught up in the details rather than thinking about the story as a living, breathing thing.
Mm-hmm.
You
and
got to do
that's
that.
it right there.
Yep.
And see, the audience get caught up with the surface stuff. They
Right.
want the love story. They want the action. The audience wants beginning, middle, and end.
Right.
That simple. They don't want the meat underneath it.
But
They just
what
want the
they
bread on top of the sandwich. That's
right,
all they
right.
want.
See, that's the physical them. I think the emotion them want to be emotionally stimulated. And a lot of times people, like I've seen people go in movies, grown dudes go in
Yeah.
movies, man, and be like, oh, this ain't whatever, blah, blah, blah. But
Uh-huh.
when that part happened, I catch him shedding a tear. I'm like, I thought you said it
Oh
wasn't.
yeah.
What you talking
I
about?
I
I think
saw that.
also because
I
like when audiences see stuff, they don't see all the stuff that the writer puts into it.
Right,
Like
right.
you as a writer are gonna write a bunch more things about like your one
Mm-hmm.
character than
Yeah,
what you're gonna put in the story because things like intersect with each other. Like
yeah,
you might not put like you might not put in the movie that I don't know the character's allergic to shrimp. I don't know. You're not
right,
gonna have like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
right.
but that might be important because if they go to a seafood restaurant in the movie, then
We'll
There you
find out
go.
then.
Well,
and they
it's like take the Matrix. Look how
Mhm.
many people missed all the stuff that was in the Matrix.
That thing got Easter eggs on top of Easter eggs.
It's like the story with the Matrix is so interwoven with real world stuff from religion to politics,
Sure.
and people missed it. I mean, I don't know how you missed it, but a lot of people missed it. But when I look at making my stories, I look back at those stories, and it's like with manga. Like you could take a manga, turn it into anime, but you cutting out a lot of the meat.
Sure. And that's another thing people don't understand. You do cut out a lot of meat.
Yeah. So like I read a lot. I'll read before I go watch TV.
Sure.
So when I'm reading, you getting all this extra stuff behind the scenes, and that informs me as an artist and a writer of where I need to go. How can I evolve my talent? Like one of my favorite modern writers for Marvel is Chris Claremont, mainly because I like that he has a science fiction bent toward his writing, and like whenever he writes the X-Men, especially when he writes the X-Men, he takes them to where I think they should be in a scientific, not a heroic setting.
No.
They should always be in a science fiction setting. They
Hickman
don't. To
did
me,
the same thing with that Powers of 10, House of X.
Yeah, the power X.
Bang.
Yeah, it's like to me, those characters are supposed to be a science fiction story. They're not supposed to be a hero story. That's the Avengers. The Avengers are a hero story. They're just in their name alone tells you we're here to save the wrongs that have happened. It's like the X-Men have always felt to me we're science fiction, and we should be treated as such.
So Mike did this, man. We gonna make a second part to this interview.
We can do that. Like I told you, I'm available. I'm available every Saturday.
We got a lot more stuff that we're going to pick your brain
might need a part 2 or part 3, 4, 5, 10.
Right. So thanks, man, Mike, for coming through. We're gonna catch you again, because like I said, this need a part 2 because we getting into the weeds on this month, right? So
hey, that's what we supposed to do.
You know, that's why we like having you over here. So
I like being here.
Follow you.
So yeah, what you know what? Actually, shoot me your socials, and we're gonna put them at the end.
Okay, I'll shoot them all.
Shoot me all your socials, and then we're gonna get that at the end. And also, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna give you a heads up. We're gonna talk a lot about bad cog and how bad cog formed next time we talk.
That's gonna be lovely.
Hey,
that's a nice little story.
I might go get our boy Darren.
Hey, he get it. It's like
you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
hey man, look, Mike, thanks again, man, for giving us another interview. Man, we appreciate it. We're gonna get you on for part 2. It's Mark Dudley Combs, and it's Asia Loxler. Asia, what you gonna take us out, Asia?
You
gonna take us out?
What am I say? Something.
Usually it's like later on, Combs.
What is it? Later on, Combs? See you later.
Right.
Oh, I'm saying what I say.
Right, you gotta say it.
BLM, all that stuff.
All right, yeah, fair enough.
Fuck off!
Anything you want to add? I'm good.